The day Earth went silent, the galaxy knew annihilation was coming. Part 1. The silence no one expected. The galaxy had never heard such silence before. For centuries, humans were always noisy. Their ships flew between stars, their signals bounced across systems, and their voices were on every trading channel. Even aliens who disliked humans admitted that they could not ignore them. But now, there was nothing. Alex Carter sat in his observation seat aboard the alien research vessel Tavara. He stared at the empty space where Earth should have been speaking. "It is gone," he whispered, his voice trembling. He had studied human activity for years. He knew their patterns, their trading habits, even their habit of arguing over the smallest things. And now, all of it was gone. Lisa Brown, the ship's communication officer, shook her head. No transmissions at all, every human station in orbit offline. Even the old deep space beacons are silent. She pressed a series of keys, trying to force a response from the distant planets, but nothing answered. The emptiness was heavy, almost alive. Daniel Moore, a young scout from a nearby system, leaned over the observation panel. "Maybe they destroyed themselves," he said quietly. "Humans are unpredictable. Maybe this is just one of their disasters." He sounded hopeful, but Alex could hear the doubt in his tone. It was a hope that could not survive long. The council had noticed too. Representatives from dozens of star nations gathered in the main chamber of the galactic capital. They argued, debated, and feared the worst. Some said it was a natural disaster. Others whispered about unknown alien weapons. Most, however, believed something terrible had happened to humanity. A quiet fear spread across every council member. "If humans are gone," one alien diplomat said, his voice like gravel, "then who will oppose the expansion of my fleet?" He looked around, expecting nods, but the room was silent. Even the thought of humans being gone made the galaxy nervous. Humans were loud, yes, but they had also been the unexpected challengers, the ones who never gave up. The galaxy had always respected that, and now that respect turned into fear. Alex, Lisa, and Daniel were sent to scout the Sol system. Their ship, though smaller than human war vessels, was fast and equipped with sensors that could read signals from light years away. They moved quietly, trying not to alert anyone, hoping to see the remnants of a civilization they had only studied from afar. As they approached the orbit of the third planet, the view stunned them. Earth was there, whole and alive, but dark. No lights, no cities glowing at night. It was like a jewel with its shine removed. No communications, no movement from orbiting satellites, nothing. Daniel could hardly believe his sensors. "It looks untouched," Lisa said softly. "But why silent?" "Humans are clever," Alex said, staring at the planet. "They never do anything without a reason. If they are silent now, it is because they want to be. Because they are preparing for something." They lowered the ship into orbit and tried to scan the planet. The surface was quiet, almost too quiet. Forests, oceans, and cities were visible, but there were no energy surges from power grids, no signs of active communication, no evidence that millions of humans moved about. It was as if the planet had paused in time. A memory of human history crossed Alex's mind. Centuries ago, humans had faced plagues, wars, and alien invasions. They had survived them all. They rebuilt each time, and each time they came back stronger. Silence was not a sign of weakness for them. It was a sign that something important was happening. Back in the Galactic Council, rumors were already spreading. Traders spoke in hushed tones about entire pirate fleets disappearing near human borders. Scouts reported energy spikes in human-controlled space, but no visible ships or weapons. Some aliens began to suspect humans were hiding. Others feared the worst. Humans had built weapons capable of ending entire fleets in seconds. "It is not just silence," a council member said. "It is a warning. They are telling the galaxy, do not come close." On Earth, things were moving, though no one in the galaxy could see. Hidden human stations activated quietly, but no signals left orbit. Inside these stations, commanders like John Miller and Sarah Blake worked tirelessly. They monitored alien activity, predicted fleet movements, and prepared defenses. Humans had been preparing for this moment for decades. Decades of planning, building, and waiting for the right time. "We cannot let them see us yet," John said, his eyes on the holographic map of the galaxy. "Any sign too soon and the galaxy will panic. Any mistake and our preparations are useless." Sarah nodded. "We have waited a long time. The galaxy will think we are gone." "Let them think it. It will make their mistakes easier to anticipate." Humans had always done the unexpected. Aliens who studied them knew that, but even they could not imagine what silence meant now. Silence from humans was not death. It was warning. It was patience. It was power. As the alien scouts continued their observation, the first sign of something unusual appeared. A small fleet of unmarked vessels blinked out of existence near the edge of human territory. One moment they were there, the next, nothing. The aliens who witnessed this felt a deep unease, something they could not explain. "What happened?" Daniel asked, staring at the empty space where the ships had been. "Humans," Alex said. "It is always humans. Never forget that." The council grew restless. More messages arrived from scouts across the galaxy. Missing fleets, unexplained energy surges, untraceable anomalies. The fear of human power spread faster than any war. Aliens who once laughed at human unpredictability now whispered in terror. The galaxy was beginning to understand a truth it had never truly believed. Humans were not to be underestimated. On Earth, life continued, quietly but with purpose. In the cities, humans moved in ordinary ways, but underground, below the oceans, in hidden orbiting stations, the real work went on. Engineers, scientists, and soldiers were readying technologies that no other species could imagine. Humans had learned from every war, every defeat, every disaster. Now they were ready for a threat the galaxy had not even noticed. Alex, Lisa, and Daniel watched the planet for days. They saw no lights, no signals, no movement above ground. The silence was absolute. Yet Alex felt it in his mind. Humans were not silent because they were weak. They were silent because they were strong, because they were waiting. And when humans waited, the galaxy had better pay attention. As the alien scouts prepared to leave orbit, the final warning came. A series of energy pulses rippled across the system, subtle and precise, and yet terrifying. No weapon could be seen. No explosion occurred. The pulses were measured, almost deliberate, and they erased a small alien probe that had drifted too close. "That was no accident," Lisa said, her hands shaking. "Humans, they can do this." Daniel looked at Alex. "We need to report this to the council. They need to know humans are not just alive, they are ready." Alex nodded, staring at the darkened planet. "Yes. And when the council hears this, the galaxy will change forever. Humans are quiet now, but silence is more dangerous than noise ever was." Far across the stars, fleets moved toward the Sol system, unaware of the danger they would face. They believed humans were gone. They believed the silence meant weakness. They were wrong. Humans had learned to wait. Humans had learned to survive. And humans had learned to watch. The first part of the story ended in silence, but it was a silence full of meaning. It was the silence before a storm, before a revelation, before a moment the galaxy would never forget. Humans were still here. They had been planning, and the galaxy would soon see what patience and intelligence could do when combined with survival instinct. And so, the day Earth went silent, the galaxy began to fear part two. Whispers from the void after the silence of Earth reached the far corners of the galaxy. Whispers began to spread. Alien traders, smugglers, and explorers shared stories in hushed tones, their voices trembling. Fleets that had once laughed at humans now spoke of fear. Fleets had vanished near human borders. Whole pirate groups disappeared without a trace, and energy readings no one could explain had been detected near the Sol system. Alex Carter, still aboard the research vessel Tavara, watched as more reports came in. Small fleets from distant systems had been lost near human territory. Sometimes, entire stations blinked out of existence. No weapons fire was detected. No explosions. Only absence. Each disappearance added to the growing fear among alien species. Lisa Brown studied the reports with narrowed eyes. "These are not accidents," she said. "Humans are doing this, but it is controlled, precise, deliberate." Daniel Moore leaned back uneasy. "But why? Why vanish fleets? If they wanted to destroy, they would have done it openly. Why hide?" Alex stared at the empty space on the sensor screens. "Because humans are smart. They do not fight when they don't need to. They make others think the worst, and then they strike when it matters most." The rumors in the galaxy were growing wilder. Some said humans had built weapons that could destroy entire planets from orbit. Others whispered that humans had learned to control gravity itself, bending stars and space. Alien historians, who had long studied humanity's past wars and victories, began to piece together a pattern. Whenever humans disappeared from records, whenever they went quiet, something dangerous always followed. Far away in the Galactic Council, debates grew heated. Representatives from multiple systems argued over what to do. "We cannot wait any longer," said a tall, gray-skinned diplomat. "If humans are alive, we must attack first. We cannot let them gain an advantage." A smaller, winged alien replied, shaking his head. "And if we are wrong, humans have always survived every attack. We would be destroyed. We do not know what they are capable of." The council could not agree. Fear and uncertainty grew stronger with every report. It seemed as though every story from traders and scouts added more proof that humans were not only alive but watching. Back near the Sol system, Alex, Lisa, and Daniel continued their observation. They watched the planet and the surrounding space. No ships moved visibly, no signals reached them, but every sensor picked up subtle energy fluctuations. Patterns that made no sense at first slowly began to form. Humans were preparing, and their preparation was deliberate. Daniel frowned at the data. "It is like they are learning about us, even without interacting. Our movements, our fleets, they know everything." "They always know more than we think," Alex said. "Humans survived by understanding their enemies. They listen, they wait, and they strike when the time is right. Silence is their strength." Then something even stranger happened. A small alien scout that had drifted too close to the outer orbital shields of Earth vanished. No explosion, no signal, no trace. It was as if it had never existed. The three observers on Tavara felt a chill. This was not human aggression. This was a warning. A way to test their boundaries without revealing power. "This is more than we expected," Lisa said quietly. "Humans are beyond what anyone imagined." Alex nodded. "And it is why the galaxy is afraid. Every fleet that thinks humans are gone now fears the worst. And humans know it. Back on Earth, humans moved quietly but with purpose. Underground bases, hidden ocean stations, and orbiting satellites were alive with activity. Engineers calibrated systems, soldiers trained, and scientists monitored the galaxy for threats. Decades of preparation were finally reaching the moment they had anticipated. John Miller, one of the commanders, studied reports from human sensors. "The galaxy is beginning to whisper. They do not understand us. That is good. Let them whisper. Fear will keep them cautious." "Fear will keep them alive," Sarah Blake nodded. "But we must not act yet. Our defenses are ready. Our weapons are ready. But the galaxy must believe we are gone. Patience is our greatest weapon." Humans had learned from centuries of contact with aliens. They had seen what happened when species acted without thinking, when fleets rushed into unknown space without preparation. Humans had survived plagues, invasions, and betrayals. Now, silence was their shield. The galaxy believed it was empty. Humans knew the truth. Alien traders were among the first to spread the whispers. They told tales of fleets disappearing, of stations that blinked out of existence, of strange energy patterns that made no sense. Some traders claimed humans had learned to manipulate space itself, folding it like a sheet, moving through points that no one else could see. If these stories are true, one alien merchant said, his voice low, then humans are no longer just dangerous. They are untouchable. Any fleet that challenges them risks total destruction. The Council tried to investigate, sending spies and scouts, but every mission returned with less information than before. Sometimes, entire groups vanished before they could report. Rumors spread faster than facts. The galaxy began to fear the unknown, and the unknown was human silence. Alex, Lisa, and Daniel recorded everything. They knew the galaxy needed to understand what humans were doing, even if the Council could not accept it yet. The galaxy had underestimated humans before. Now underestimating them could mean disaster. We need to report these anomalies, Daniel said, but how do we explain it? Humans are gone, yet alive. Their power is unimaginable. Alex shook his head. We report what we see. The Council will decide. But every alien fleet that moves too close will regret it. Humans are waiting and they are ready. As the days passed, the pattern became clear. Small fleets ventured into human space, curious or reckless, and each time they vanished. Sometimes energy surges erased them instantly. Other times gravity anomalies pulled them apart. No human faces were seen. No ships were detected. Only the consequences. The Council grew more uneasy. Representatives argued that attacking Earth might provoke humans. Others argued that doing nothing was even more dangerous. The galaxy was trapped in fear, and humans observed it all silently. Fear is spreading faster than any fleet, Alex said. Humans do not need to act. Silence is already making the galaxy obey. Back on Earth, John Miller and Sarah Blake prepared for the next phase. They monitored alien movements, calculated risks, and made sure every human station was ready to respond. Decades of secrecy, patience, and planning had brought them to this moment. They had survived everything before. Now, the galaxy would learn the cost of ignoring humans. The whispers in the galaxy became stories, and the stories became legends. Alien fleets avoided human borders. Traders refused to cross into human space. Even the most confident generals hesitated. The galaxy had learned one simple truth. When humans were silent, it was not because they were gone. It was because they were preparing something unimaginable. As Alex, Lisa, and Daniel left orbit to report back, they felt a strange weight. Humans had not made a move yet, but the power was already clear. The galaxy had never faced a species like this. Humans were quiet, patient, and intelligent. And when they acted, no one would survive their mistakes. The second part of the story closed with whispers echoing across the stars. Fear, uncertainty, and tension gripped every corner of the galaxy, and humans remained silent, watching and waiting. The galaxy did not know what would come next, but every fleet and every trader knew one thing. Humans were alive and the galaxy would pay attention. The silence was not empty. It was warning. It was observation. It was preparation. And the galaxy was beginning to understand that the quietest moments were often the deadliest. Part 3. The first answer: the alien fleets approached the Sol system slowly. After weeks of hesitation, fear, and whispered rumors, some commanders decided to see for themselves if humans were gone. They expected ruins, empty cities, dead worlds. They were ready to take what they believed was abandoned human territory. Alex Carter, Lisa Brown, and Daniel Moore watched from their observation ship. They saw the fleets arrive in loose formations, some curious, some arrogant. "They still think we are gone," Alex said. "They still think silence means weakness." Lisa frowned. "They are wrong. Humans do not stay quiet unless they are preparing. And now we will see why." On Earth, the humans were ready. John Miller and Sarah Blake stood in command rooms that had been underground for decades. Every system, from orbital defenses to hidden ocean bases, was synchronized. Millions of calculations had been run, millions of simulations tested. The alien fleets had no idea what awaited them. "They are here," John said, eyes on the holographic map. "Let them come. This is what we have been preparing for." The first alien vessels crossed the outer limits of the Sol system. Sensors immediately detected them, but human systems did not respond with weapons yet. Instead, subtle shifts in gravity began to appear. The fleets noticed small anomalies, small distortions in space. Navigation computers went wild, ships could not hold course, crews panicked. One alien commander yelled at his bridge, "What is happening? Why is space itself moving?" Sarah Blake, observing from Earth, remained calm. "Let them panic. This is the first lesson." She tapped a control panel, and invisible waves rippled through space. Ships that had been bold enough to enter human territory began to drift apart. Some collided with debris fields. Others were pulled silently out of formation. No explosions, no firing, just disappearance. The aliens had no idea what was happening. Alex, observing through the sensors, gasped. "They are erasing fleets without firing a single shot." Daniel shook his head. "But how? No weapons visible, no signals, nothing." Lisa whispered, "Humans have always done the impossible, we just saw it." The alien fleets attempted to regroup, sending scouts ahead. One small squadron moved toward Earth, trying to find the source of the anomaly. Within moments, the entire squadron vanished. No trace. No warning. It was as if the ships had never existed. Fear spread among the alien commanders. Whispers over communication channels turned to panic screams. "This is impossible," one alien admiral said. "They cannot do this. It is beyond reason." "Humans are not bound by our reason," Alex said. "They do what they must to survive, and they have survived longer than any of us thought possible." Back on Earth, humans monitored every reaction. Engineers in hidden orbital stations adjusted the gravitational field subtly, carefully, ensuring that no human fleet needed to engage directly. Soldiers prepared for anything, but the battle had already begun without a single shot fired. John Miller smiled at the display. "They came to test us. They thought we were weak. Now they are learning the truth. Patience and preparation win wars before they even begin." Sarah Blake nodded. "And the galaxy will see what silence really means." The alien fleets tried to retreat, but human systems anticipated every movement. Ships that attempted to escape drifted into new anomalies. Gravity wells formed around them, forcing them into slow orbits where energy surges disabled their engines. Panic grew. Fleets that had once been proud and arrogant now moved like frightened prey. Alex watched the events unfold. The galaxy is about to learn something important. Humans are not just alive, they are in control. They were never gone. Daniel swallowed hard. "Every fleet they sent here, gone. They haven't even fired a shot." Lisa nodded. "And this is only the beginning. The humans wanted the galaxy to understand their strength without destroying entire worlds. That is how clever they are." Alien communications grew chaotic. Commanders argued, tried to regroup, and sought hidden weapons that did not exist. Some begged for mercy, some tried to negotiate. But the humans did not answer. Silence was their message. Silence, and the undeniable demonstration of power, was enough. On Earth, civilians were unaware. Cities appeared normal. Children played in parks. People went to work. Yet underground, beneath oceans and in orbiting stations, humans had demonstrated the impossible. They had defended themselves without firing a single visible shot. The galaxy's greatest powers had seen a display of control that no one could imagine. The fleets that survived the anomalies began to communicate with each other. Panic and disbelief filled their reports. "We underestimated them," one said. "They are not like any species we have faced. They survived disasters, invasions, everything. Now, silence is their weapon. John Miller reviewed the reports. We do not need to strike yet. The galaxy is learning without bloodshed. This is the power of patience and preparation. Sarah Blake added, every fleet that survives will carry the message. Every report will be studied. Humans have ensured their survival, and now the galaxy respects the danger of silence. Alex, observing from a distance, summarized the moment. This is the turning point. Humans were quiet, yes, but not weak. They were waiting, and when the galaxy came to test them, they answered. Without firing a single shot, they reminded the stars why humans are never ignored. The alien fleets began to retreat, hesitant, fearful, and confused. They had come to see if humans were gone. Instead, they had witnessed a power that could erase fleets without a trace. The galaxy had begun to understand that humanity was not only alive but untouchable in ways no one had imagined. Back on Earth, humans began subtle movements to ensure readiness for any future attempts. Small ships in orbit, hidden defensive stations, and underground facilities continued their quiet work. The galaxy had seen their strength. Humans had shown that silence was not weakness. It was warning, and the galaxy would remember it. The first answer had been given. Fleets came to observe. Fleets were erased. The galaxy was stunned. And yet no human had even fired a traditional weapon. Daniel, still on Tavara, shook his head. The galaxy is never going to forget this. Every fleet, every trader, every council member will carry this memory. Humans, they are unstoppable. Lisa whispered, and we are witnessing the beginning of the change. The galaxy will never treat humans the same way again. Alex nodded. They have survived, and now they have reminded the universe why. Patience, preparation, and intelligence. That is the true human weapon. The alien fleets left the system, but stories spread faster than light. Whispers became reports. Reports became legends. Fleets in distant systems began to reconsider their strategies. No one would challenge Earth again without thought. No one would underestimate the humans. On Earth, life continued quietly. Children played, workers went to offices, and cities glowed at night as usual. Humans remained outwardly ordinary but hidden and prepared. They had demonstrated the impossible. They had answered the galaxy without a single death, without a single explosion, without a visible weapon. And in the silence of Earth, a message had been sent. Humans were alive, humans were prepared, and humans were not to be tested. The first answer had been given. The galaxy would remember the day humans went silent, and the first answer had made clear that silence was stronger than noise, and intelligence was more deadly than arrogance. The galaxy had seen. The galaxy had feared. The galaxy had learned. And humans remained patient, watching and ready. Part 4. The warning to the stars. The galaxy had begun to whisper, but the whispers were growing louder. Alien fleets avoided the Sol system, scared of the invisible power humans had demonstrated. Yet some commanders were still arrogant. They did not believe the stories. They wanted proof. They wanted to see for themselves if humans were really as strong as rumors said. Alex Carter watched from his observation ship, Tavara. He had never seen the galaxy so cautious. Even the most aggressive fleets moved slowly, keeping a safe distance from human space. Yet a few dared to push closer. They will regret it, Alex said quietly. Humans do not strike without reason, but when they do, it is final. Lisa Brown studied the sensor readings. We saw their power, we know what they can do, yet they keep coming closer. They are either foolish or desperate. Daniel Moore shook his head. Humans are waiting, they are patient. They do not need to attack. The galaxy is already scared. On Earth, John Miller and Sarah Blake monitored the approaching fleets. Hidden orbital stations calculated every movement. Energy readings from alien ships were tracked in real time. Every sensor and every weapon system was synchronized. Humans had prepared for centuries to survive this exact moment. They still do not understand, John said. They think silence means weakness, Soon, they will see the cost of underestimating humans. Sarah nodded. And when they do, it will not be a threat we regret. It will be a lesson they cannot forget. Humans decided it was time to act, not with weapons at first, but with a message. A transmission was prepared and sent across the galaxy. Simple, clear, and direct. It was not loud. It was not threatening, but every species could understand it. "We are here," the message said. "We are alive. We have watched and waited. The galaxy has tested us. Any attack, any intrusion will be met with consequences. Survival is our right. Do not underestimate humans." Alien fleets received the message. The content was simple, but the meaning was terrifying. Every commander knew what it implied. Humans were no longer the species they had studied casually. Humans were prepared, patient, and capable of ending fleets without warning. The first fleet to ignore the warning approached the outer planets. They believed the transmission was bluff. They believed the humans were still hiding, weak, and vulnerable. They crossed the invisible border of human space. John and Sarah watched quietly as the fleet entered human territory. Humans did not fire. They did not respond immediately. Instead, the ship slowed down, confused. Sensors showed subtle shifts in gravitational fields, bending trajectories, forcing ships to drift slowly toward safe zones where humans could observe them. "Let them panic first," John said. "Let them realize they are not in control." Sarah tapped a few controls and invisible pulses spread through space. Some ships lost engines, others could not adjust course. The aliens panicked. They sent messages, but humans did not reply. The first lesson was complete. Survival itself was teaching the galaxy fear. Alex and his team watched in awe. "Humans do not need to fight to win," Lisa whispered. "Fear alone is enough," Daniel nodded. "And the message is clear. They are patient. They will not strike first, but if pushed, it will be final." As the aliens struggled, humans continued to monitor the galaxy. Hidden bases on the moon, deep underground cities, and orbiting stations all shared data. Every alien movement was tracked. Humans were ready for anything, yet they remained calm. The galaxy had begun to understand that humans were unpredictable in the best way. After the first fleet retreated, more fleets tried to approach. Some sent scouts, others sent messages of negotiation. Every attempt was observed, every action calculated. Humans allowed the galaxy to test their patience, but every test had consequences. Ships that came too close drifted helplessly, their crews terrified. Energy surges disabled engines. Communication systems failed. The galaxy learned without humans needing to fire a shot. John smiled at the results. "They are learning, the galaxy is learning. Fear will keep them cautious. Patience is our greatest weapon," Sarah nodded. "And the quiet will continue. We show strength without destruction. That is how humans survive wars without losing their soul." Rumors spread faster than light. Alien traders told stories of fleets being erased, of ships lost to invisible forces, and of transmissions that carried quiet warnings. Some fleets refused to approach human space again. Others tried to push, but all met subtle resistance. Humans had turned silence into a weapon. Fear had become the galaxy's first lesson. Alex, observing from Tavara, recorded every detail. "The galaxy is changing," he said. "They are learning. Humans are teaching without speaking, without firing. The galaxy will respect them after this." Daniel shook his head. "And yet some will not learn. They will try again, but humans will be ready." Humans continued to observe and prepare. Engineers tested defensive systems, scientists monitored cosmic events, and soldiers trained in secret. Every base, every station, every city worked in harmony. Humans were ready for anything the galaxy could attempt. Then, a small alien fleet sent a final message. It was desperate, begging for peace. Humans answered not with words but with action. The fleet was guided safely out of human space. No ships were harmed, but the message was clear. Intrusion would have consequences. The galaxy had been warned. John and Sarah watched as the last fleet departed. "They understand now," John said. "The galaxy will never approach humans without thought again." Sarah nodded. "And humans remain alive, strong, and patient. We showed strength without unnecessary death. That is the lesson of survival." Alex turned to his team. "The galaxy will remember this day. Humans spoke through action, and action alone. Fleets that survived will carry this knowledge to the farthest stars. Humans are not to be tested." Daniel added, "And this is only the beginning. Humans will continue to observe, prepare, and respond if necessary. Patience is more powerful than fleets or weapons." Lisa looked at Earth. "And the galaxy is beginning to understand. Humans are alive. Humans are strong. And humans will survive anything." Humans remained calm, ordinary on the surface, but beneath, every system was synchronized, every fleet ready, every plan in place. The galaxy had seen a warning, and it was enough. Fear, respect, and caution spread faster than any ship could travel. As the day ended, Earth returned to its quiet state. Cities glowed, oceans reflected the sunlight, and people went about their lives. Yet hidden in plain sight, humans had demonstrated their strength. Fleets had been tested. The galaxy had received a warning. Humans had not fired a single weapon, yet shown that destruction was possible if pushed. Alex recorded his final observation for the day. "Humans are alive, prepared, and patient. The galaxy will remember the silence and the warnings. This is a species unlike any other." John and Sarah smiled, knowing that humans had accomplished what no other species could. They had defended themselves, warned the galaxy, and maintained peace, all through intelligence, patience, and subtle action. The warning had been sent. The galaxy had received it. Humans had shown that survival was more than weapons. Survival was knowledge, patience, and preparation. And the galaxy would never forget the day Earth went silent and spoke through its power. Part 5. Fear becomes respect. The galaxy had begun to change. Whispers and rumors had become reports, and reports had become lessons that no alien fleet could ignore. Humans had survived tests, survived observation, and survived challenges without firing a single visible shot. Fleets had vanished. Communications had failed. The galaxy had received its warning, and now it understood. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. Alex Carter observed from Tavara, still in orbit around the Sol system. He had been watching humans for years, but even he was amazed by what they had accomplished. The silence of Earth had been transformed into power, intelligence, and strategy. Fleets that had once been proud now moved cautiously, always considering the unseen threat. Lisa Brown studied the latest reports. Every fleet, every trader, every diplomat knows now. Humans are alive, strong, and intelligent. Fear is spreading faster than any weapon. Daniel Moore nodded. And it is not just fear. Respect is growing too. The galaxy has seen what humans can do without firing a shot. That is power beyond measure. On Earth, John Miller and Sarah Blake continued to oversee preparations. Humans remained calm, ordinary in appearance, but every station, every fleet, and every soldier was ready. Decades of planning had ensured that the planet was protected. Humans had learned from every disaster, every war, and every encounter with alien civilizations. Patience and intelligence had brought them to this moment. "They understand now," John said, looking at the holographic map of the galaxy. "The galaxy knows that humans are not weak. It knows that silence is our weapon. It knows that intrusion will have consequences." Sarah nodded. "And now they will act differently. Fleets will move carefully. Empires will reconsider expansion. The galaxy has learned respect without a single human dying." Reports arrived from distant systems. Fleets that had attempted to test human patience were now retreating, sending messages of apology or requests for diplomacy. Alien leaders who had once ignored humans now wrote letters, broadcasts, and signals that asked for cooperation. They spoke of treaties, boundaries, and agreements. Humans had earned their place in the galaxy through survival and strategy. Alex watched the signals. The galaxy is rewriting its rules. Humans are no longer just another species. They are a power that must be considered. Every empire, every fleet, every trader is adjusting. Humans have done this without war. Daniel shook his head. And they didn't need to. Humans are teaching the galaxy lessons about patience, intelligence, and survival. Humans continue to monitor every movement. Orbital satellites scanned the stars. Hidden fleets moved quietly, ready for anything. Underground bases tracked communications. Humans had learned long ago that knowledge and preparation were more powerful than any weapon. Now, the galaxy had learned the same lesson. Some fleets sent representatives to Earth. Diplomats arrived in small, cautious ships. They did not attack. They came to understand, to negotiate, to survive. Humans received them with calm curiosity, asking questions and observing. They offered guidance and boundaries, showing that cooperation was possible, but only on human terms. John Miller met one of the alien diplomats personally. "We have survived because we learned to wait," he said. "We have survived because we observed, calculated, and prepared. We will not attack without reason, but we will defend ourselves without hesitation." The diplomat, a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 eyes, bowed slightly. "We understand. We underestimated your patience and intelligence. The galaxy will respect humans from this day forward." Sarah Blake watched from the command center. "It is more than respect. It is fear tempered by understanding. That is the most powerful combination. The galaxy will not forget what it has learned." Alex, Lisa, and Daniel observed from their ship. "The galaxy has changed," Alex said. "Fleets move carefully. Empires reconsider expansion. Humans are no longer just another species, they are a force." Lisa added, "And humans did this without unnecessary destruction, without firing a single traditional shot. They have taught the galaxy that intelligence, patience, and preparation are more powerful than fleets or weapons." Daniel looked at Earth. "And yet, humans remain ordinary on the surface. The world looks normal. Children play, cities glow, oceans reflect the sun. But underneath, humans are ready for anything. That is what makes them terrifying to the galaxy." Alien historians began to record these events. Fleets that had attempted intrusion were studied. Communications and reports were compiled. The story of human silence and the lessons that followed would be taught in every academy, every fleet training center, and every diplomatic hall across the stars. Humans had written history not with weapons, but with patience, intelligence, and strategic action. Back on Earth, life continued. Humans lived ordinary lives, unaware of the full extent of the fear and respect that had spread across the galaxy. Yet behind the scenes, everything was synchronized. Hidden fleets remained ready. Orbital satellites scanned for threats. Underground bases trained soldiers. Humans had prepared for centuries, and now the galaxy understood why. John Miller and Sarah Blake reflected on the achievement. "We have survived everything the galaxy could throw at us," John said. "And we have taught the galaxy a lesson about patience, intelligence, and preparation. This is more than survival. This is respect earned." Sarah smiled. "And the galaxy will remember. Fleets will hesitate. Empires will reconsider. No one will approach Earth without thought. That is our place now." Alex, observing the galaxy from Tavara, spoke quietly. "Humans have changed everything. Fleets will move differently. Empires will act differently. Traders and diplomats will respect them. Humans have ensured survival and safety through intelligence, patience, and observation. This is their power." Daniel nodded. "And the galaxy has learned that the quietest species may be the most dangerous. That is the message humans sent. That is the truth the galaxy must carry." Lisa added, "Humans have done what no other species could. They defended themselves without unnecessary destruction, warned the galaxy through action, and ensured survival for generations. Humans remained calm and ordinary to any observer. Children played, workers traveled, and cities glowed at night. But hidden beneath the surface, humans had established control over their space. Fleets were ready, bases were prepared, systems were synchronized. The galaxy had learned a simple truth. Intrusion would have consequences, testing patience would be costly, and humans were not to be underestimated. Fleets that survived the anomalies and warnings carried the lessons back to their home systems. Alien empires began to revise strategies, treaties, and trade routes. The story of human silence, preparation, and demonstration of power became legend. The galaxy would never treat humans the same way again. John Miller and Sarah Blake looked at the stars, knowing that the galaxy had learned a simple but powerful truth. Humans survived not through aggression, but through intelligence, patience, and preparation. The galaxy respected the warning, and humans had ensured their place among the stars. Alex, Lisa, and Daniel recorded their final observations. Humans have survived, warned, and established dominance without bloodshed. The galaxy will carry this knowledge forever. Patience, intelligence, and preparation are the true human weapons. Fear has become respect. As the sun set over the earth, cities glowed in calm harmony. Oceans reflected the light, forests swayed gently, and people lived ordinary lives. Yet the galaxy had been forever changed. Humans had survived the ultimate test, and the universe now recognized their power. The day Earth went silent had become a turning point. Fleets no longer attacked blindly. Empires no longer expanded carelessly. The galaxy learned that when humans were silent, it was not weakness. It was intelligence, patience, and strength beyond measure. And humans, quiet but ready, remained in control, observing, calculating, and prepared for anything that could challenge their survival. The galaxy respected them now, and humanity's place among the stars was secure. The story of silence had become a story of power. Fear had turned to respect. The galaxy had learned the greatest lesson humans could teach. Survival through intelligence and patience was more powerful than any fleet, any weapon, or any empire. Humans had spoken without words, acted without destruction, and ensured that the galaxy would never forget them. And in the quiet, ordinary lives of Earth, humans remained ready, patient, and alive. The galaxy had learned the ultimate truth. When humans go silent, the end is near, not for them, but for anyone who underestimates them.